goodness, this lady.
Because the thing wasn't working earlier, and I was trying to fix it.
Oh my goodness. Anyways,
Now it's fixed.
Well, I don't need these headphones because we're all in the same room.
Yeah.
So,
You're
welcome
in the same room. How about
to
that?
another episode of Action Addicts by the Austin Action Fest and Market. It's a podcast. We talk about, well, pretty much action. And, we get into the business. We get into film, the craft of filmmaking sometimes, but it's mostly about that action. So,
Yes.
Here today, obviously, Ben Ruddick, Lord Violence, the Violence Conductor. And we have special guest, old school podcast and partner, Ballistic Blade partner of mine,
Edwin Keon.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. And
Like
today we're drinking out of the chalice of truth.
Oh, wow. Wow,
Okay?
wow.
We're not good. It's not the chalice of hate. We're not here to tear down Gladiator if
We're
you like
not.
this movie.
We're not here to Gladiator.
No.
Is
No.
gladiate
I'm
a
here to tear
verb?
down Gladiator.
Can we make
That's my sole purpose.
I did not do that.
For the record, all my opinions are coming, generally irritable here, by the way. All my opinions are coming from not having seen the first movie.
Okay, so we're gonna let you start first.
Yeah.
Generally, just look, we're seeing reviews for this movie. We're seeing a lot of energy about this movie.
It's pretty funny.
Actually, before we start, can I read the review?
Oh, let me set it up. So a lot of people have a lot of opinions about this film, and I think they're pretty inaccurate.
Oh.
A lot of them are pretty
bold
inaccurate.
statement.
And so because of that, we felt like we needed to tell people what's really going down. I know a lot of folks, surprisingly enough, even though Denzel's in this, haven't watched this movie.
No.
Normally people watch anything Denzel's in.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's not doing that good, is it?
No.
Financially.
You know how many people I know that haven't seen this film who like action and like Denzel? So I don't know if that's the price of the tickets or...
No, here's what it is.
Wicked.
They're smarter than we are.
Because Wicked is
And
making a lot of money.
It is?
is it, even though the actresses are being weird and crying all over
Actually,
the place?
surprisingly enough, I'm hearing nothing but good things. Even from people who normally bash that stuff, they're saying it's good too.
Well, it's a wildly popular play.
Yeah, the
If
play
you've
was
ever
popular.
seen it, it's really, really good. It's quite
Yeah.
good. It's a reimagine
Yeah.
of. I need one of those voice things like the Quartering has.
Reimagine.
The female voice doesn't cut it.
I thought you had some stuff queued up for that.
What? Stuff queued up for what?
I thought you had stuff queued up for the for like the little stabs, the little audio.
Oh, I don't have reimagine. I've got of course.
Gotcha.
I've got
Alright.
basically.
Okay.
I've been. You guys haven't heard it because you don't have the headphones in, but I've used the fwah, fwah, fwah already a couple of times.
Also, I
so-
want to show off one thing. I got
Oh.
a new shirt today.
Oh yeah, Gadsden flag.
Yeah.
Hey, don't tread on me.
America!
Heck yeah.
Just want to put that out here
It
for
is Edwin Quiones,
Yeah.
Miss Keisha G.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got a fan, dude.
Yes.
You got fans already? I
Yes.
don't even got fans.
We roped him into doing this review
Yeah.
with us. We all went and saw the movie the other day.
I'm a fan of Keisha's.
Aw.
Everybody's a fan of Keisha. How can you not be a fan of
I
Keisha?
know. That's...
She's really nice.
We should do an episode when we have her watch, and then we just talk about how great she is, so she gets embarrassed
Super embarrassed.
for like 15 minutes
She
straight.
should
Yeah.
never call herself great.
Yeah.
Or great at her
One of the
job,
most
or
humble
great-
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Throughout production, check it out. Film Fusion. If you're in film,
Hey.
you want to get you want to book roles, you want to get talent, you want to get people for your films and crew up.
Holler
Film
at your girl.
Fusion is the place that we go to do a lot of that. So check it out.
Yes.
Um,
Okay. So yeah. So we did. Okay. So a little bit of a setup. Edwin and Benjamin are both big fans of Gladiator. I think that's fair to say, right? You guys both thought the
yeah.
first movie was really good.
Yes.
Russell
Yeah.
Crowe was a great actor. All that kind of stuff.
We
A
were
lot of
we were entertained.
lot of like quotable moments, right? And so now, is anyone here? Look, I wasn't even a huge movie buff before Ben and I got together. Lord Reddick and I got together, but I still knew what a good movie was or not.
Okay.
And,
Mhm.
you know, I knew back then that usually a sequel, there was a good chance it was not going to be as good as the first one. And if you got a third, if it was a trilogy, ooh, it was probably going to be bad. And it was probably going to ruin your whole opinion of the
Wow.
franchise.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
so what do you guys think? Did the sequel live up to the original? How bad did it suck?
Well, let's
I-
go ahead.
Before we do that, I want to read the
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right, the review. Okay.
This is the Rotten Tomato review. Right now, it's sitting at a 71% uh, uh, reviewer score and an 83% audience score.
Wow, those are pretty
So,
high.
Yeah, so like it just
Okay.
lowered. So that means the first week it was higher than this.
Okay.
So
Alright.
it says echoing its predecessor while upping the blood sport and camp. Gladiator 2 is an action extravaganza that derives much of its strength and honor from Denzel Washington's scene-stealing performance. And right there is one of the reasons why I didn't care for the movie all that much.
Okay.
Yeah, say more.
Because it's like saying Batman came out and it is so great, yada yada, due to Alfred's scene-stealing performance.
So,
Basically, like the supporting character
Yeah,
stealing
like,
the
I was
show.
like, because I'm pretty sure I haven't read the review for the first Gladiator.
mhm.
I'm almost certain it's because of Russell Crowe.
Oh yeah, it's because of Crow.
Mm,
So that's how you know it's like they're like reaching.
yeah.
They're reaching to the like the side characters. I was like, nobody's watching them. I mean, everybody likes Denzel Washington, but I mean, you are going to go see the Gladiator.
I have
Yeah.
never been more underwhelmed. That's a lie. I was very underwhelmed. I'll just say that. It was, and I didn't even think Denzel Washington's performance was that great. I mean, he's a fine actor,
Yeah.
but it was such a mediocre film
Yeah,
that
Ooh.
it,
Going right to it. Huh?
yeah, I mean, really, it was, I mean, it was just meh. It was
I
meh.
will say that the action sequences.
I liked.
We'll get to the action sequence. Overall, yes, I give the movie about a 65.
Mm,
I go lower than
Is it worth going to the theater
no,
Mm-mm.
no,
if
it's
there's
not.
nothing else to go do? Somebody like me, I'll go watch an action movie like that. It's big enough
Mm,
to watch in the theater.
yeah,
Do I want to pay full price for it? No.
no.
I want to catch it on
No, I
a
don't.
Wednesday, on a Tuesday deal, on a matinee.
You want to go up?
I
on
have
a
Movie
Tuesday?
Pass. Brother, shout out Movie Pass.
Hey.
So I don't feel the pain quite as
taking-
much.
We're taking subscribers and sponsors.
Yeah, we need. We need.
Oh, hey.
Yo, somebody
And-
needs to reach out to
Yo,
Movie Pass.
holler
And
at-
Flicks Brewhouse, $5 Wednesdays
Hey.
for non
Non-members.
first week releases. So
Okay, good to know. So look, somebody needs to be hitting us with some kind of some year passes or some kind of a sponsorship deal because we're out here doing work for y'all.
Yes.
But the point is, it's not a movie I want to spend $20 to catch and then spend another $30, $40 at concessions. I
Yeah.
don't think it was. I don't
Yeah.
think it was good enough for all that. It's an okay movie.
and Erica's stealing my popcorn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
part of
baby.
the problem with this film is that Gladiator 1 exists.
Yes.
Um,
No, that's what's funny. That's not even being funny. That is actually that's absolutely true. Like that's a true
They could have.
statement.
No, that was what was it Edwin who said it? You could have made this movie. You could have called it anything else,
Yeah, you could have
and
called
it would have been
You could
fine.
have called
Would've
it
been fine.
the Coliseum. I promise you right now, I would have no problems with this movie if they didn't link it to Gladiator. If they just called it the Coliseum and it was just another, it'd be like the difference between like Spartacus and the other show.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
put them together because they're like separate from each other, even though they have the same.
And look, yeah, and
Concept of
chat.
it.
Look, we really want your opinions. We're not reviewing a brand new movie, so we really want you guys and who are watching this and catching it with us, weigh in. We really want to know your opinion. Were you really feeling a movie like that? Was it like what? I mean, because it wasn't a terrible film by any means. But again, Gladiator 1 was awesome.
Yeah.
Some of that's probably a little bit of nostalgia. Movies were but then again, when we talk about nostalgia, those movies were coming out in an era where everybody liked the movies.
Yeah.
And they had stiff competition. the movies that are coming out now, quite frequently, people don't like. So actually, your competition feels like it's less, if you really want me to be honest with you. So you should have had a better shot. I enjoyed Red 1 more than I enjoyed Gladiator.
Before I really start to bash this movie, because I know I'm going to, can I say what I liked about it first?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go
Yeah,
positive.
let's do
First
it.
and foremost,
Ben,
I've
do
never
Ben do a
bashed something
normal.
Look, first,
Please,
okay, so plot overall, first and foremost, you finished the film. It didn't get reshelved like Batgirl. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh wait.
So let's just
Oh, go
let's just
I got
let's give you credit. Let's give you credit because you're talking that ish. That's why you got flies in your face. I'm sorry. That was continue. You guys go. I'm done.
So
I'm fired.
I can tell you what I liked. For one, I liked the wardrobe in the movie because I like that time period, like everything. I liked the action scenes. I like the fight scenes actually a lot. The problem is that they're not. They have really good fight scenes. They're just bad intended for the movie. So, I was like, because let me take it because okay, so the wardrobe.
All right.
I liked the energy of the movie because it had a similar energy to the first movie,
fair.
and I liked the fight scenes because they were like a little bit more like grittier than the first movie in a way.
They were.
But here's the problem.
They were far more brutal.
Because now here's the problem, and a lot of movies fall into this trap where in the first movie the Gladiator is the best fighter of the movie. So he's gonna either school you or he'll do like what that one guy did when that guy tried to like put the sword to his face and he just didn't move at all. So, in this one, they had the exact same scene except now he's in a tussle with a guy. So you're trying to wonder why people just thinking, well, he's just a scrapper like everybody else. So he has to be John Wick. You can't do it any other way because he has to.
You don't want to be John Everyman.
Yeah, and even you brought it up with the monkeys. So the monkey thing was, it's either you're gonna hate it or you're gonna love that part. It's a weird part, but the part about it is he kills a monkey and everybody knows him from being like this. They call him the monkey thing. That was like his thing, but everybody in the scene killed a monkey.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why. Now, had he killed all the monkeys,
that would have been it.
Then you can see why he's there. This is the theme for him now. That was the problem with that movie. Like, these are good fight scenes. They're not in the right movie for this character because he has to be the one.
Yeah.
He can't. You have to be Neo. You have to be John Wick. You would not have bought John Wick if he lost his first fight scene.
Also, and he doesn't have the Riz. So like you have him, and everybody's feeling, oh my goodness, he's the one. He's the golden child, and they're all into it. I'm like, yeah, but you haven't shown me anything to make me believe.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I was
like he's not saying things that are really cool. His speeches are terrible.
Yeah.
His fighting is okay.
The speeches were so bad. I'm sorry. You got to go. Hold on. The speeches were they were uninspiring. Okay. they like at the end. I would not be like, yeah, let's go. I'd be like, bro, like, nah. Who's the different? We need a better leader. Yeah. Like it was like, yeah. Who is it in the Bible? Moses or whatever. Who's like, I can't go to them because I don't know how to talk good. Yeah. That was like what that dude sounded like. He needed an Aaron to come and speak for him.
Yeah, he did.
Is it Aaron? Is that right?
Yeah, it was Aaron. Look, bare minimum in a movie, I'm expecting good speeches. And here's a good example. Yeah. I've been watching a lot of Taylor Sheridan. I've been watching a lot of Taylor Sheridan recently.
Yeah.
I've been watching, Lioness, and then I just watched Landman or whatever with Billy Bob Thornton. I watched like 2-3 minutes of those, and you can tell the writing is so tight. And the guy is cool. The guy is saying cool stuff. It's a movie. I don't need it to be realistic. Even realistically, even in a real war, I would expect my general to be more inspiring and have more charisma than this guy. He has no charisma.
No riz.
You would not want to follow this guy.
No.
And you remember, even in that first scene, did anybody even look at him?
Dude,
literally, first of all, literally, like the first movie, as soon as he got there, everybody was General. It was like, it's like they're not doing that for themselves. The movie did it for the audience.
Yeah.
for you to know
He's
that
respected.
he's respected.
He's that guy.
Yeah, that's what you call oh my god, my brain just farted. Now I have no right to talk shit about people. Exposition, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Exposition. He lacked charisma so much that they
Mhm.
had to add exposition to make you respect him.
Right.
Yeah.
And
You
this,
After diminishing him by the fact that he almost got murdered by a baboon after everybody else did fine
Yeah,
with
where's
theirs.
okay, so we'll get to the fight. We'll get to the
a
fights.
baboon, yeah, not a baboon. I'm
Let's
sorry,
talk
a
about-
baboon.
And so,
Yeah, whatever.
let's talk about the plot and stuff in general because I want to get to the action real quick. But
Oh, wait.
the plot.
Hold on, you
What?
guys. The best part of the whole movie.
What was that?
The best part, you guys remember?
The dogs.
Oh, well, that too. But that was part of it. The screen the transitions.
Oh yeah, the editing was awkward.
The editing was so bad. My favorite part, of course, was the mice at the beginning.
Oh,
every
yeah.
Single solitary stupid
There
thing.
was a lot of rats in Rome.
So
There was can you guys hear that the rat
I mean,
noises?
I can't hear it.
so now there's,
This is for you guys.
if we're gonna go to the plot, now this is something else.
Yeah.
So I already told you what I like. Now I can only go into what I didn't like. But like,
No,
you
I'm
say,
gonna
like, the
make our
plot,
viewers
I
listen to
could've
mouse
swore
noises the whole time.
Every single time in this movie, for some reason, this movie almost treated you like you were the biggest idiot in the room.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because I was expecting literally for them to be cutting the camera every 2 seconds so the actor can tell you what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know how many
Oh.
times, like how many times did she mention that was her son?
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
she kept, maybe I was like, why don't you
Son.
just
My
hold up
son.
a cue card for us? I was like, I get it, it's your son. Everybody
Okay.
knows it's my son, and I haven't seen him in forever, and I haven't. I was like,
you know
that's my mother, and I blah blah blah, and I was like, dude, I was like,
you know what's funny about that? When I first watched the movie, I was like, oh, I guess it's not connected to the original Gladiator. It's just another Gladiator, right? And I was like, the further we got into the film, the more thankful I was that was the case. As they started to reveal that it actually was connected to the first one,
yeah.
the more upset I got.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how many times did she say that who his dad was?
Yeah.
We know
Did
the audience
Marcus
knows it.
Aurelius,
Yeah,
whatever.
Mark-
They
and-
said
and-
Marcus Aurelius 500 times.
Yeah, exactly. I was
Her
like,
dad.
we know his name.
We
I
know
know
you're
his dad. I
related
was
to a
like,
famous philosopher. That's great.
You know, and I'm talking about
Stoic.
the whole movie. They kept doing that. Like, it's like there are
Oh.
sharks in the water now.
The water, so we can see the sharks.
we can see the sharks in the water. I can see-
They're whole sharks. It's clear water. And it's not a kind of thing
You
that
know.
you miss.
Can you imagine if in
Right.
the first movie when he said
Prescient.
if you're in battle and you don't feel anything anymore and you're in Elysium, you know, blah blah blah, and then turns to the guy, you know, Elysium is the Greek version of heaven. Back to the movie,
Oh,
which is literally
so
like,
much
literally-
exposition.
Yeah.
Have you? I've never seen that happen in a movie where literally like they're stopping to explain the movie to each other.
Oh,
I was like, you know what I'm
Yes!
saying? I was like in the scene that brought that home was when Denzel went to the other brother.
Yeah.
okay.
You know what he's going there for. You know what he needs to tell him.
Yeah.
He goes through and tells him what he's feeling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You remember
Yeah.
that? I was like,
yeah, that-
he knows what he's feeling. He just told you. You're like, oh, but you know. You'd be like, I was like, what is going on in this movie? Who wrote this script?
It's
They're
not.
like,
It's not tight.
It's
not tight.
it's-
That's what I'm saying. It's the opposite of a Taylor Sheridan show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not good.
Yeah.
There was something about that. I was going to say, Ben says this all the time that movies do. You guys, I quit. I'm just going to sit over here
What's it
quietly.
in reference to?
I don't even remember now. I'm going to be quiet, you guys. I'm like,
Tell don't
you can
show.
tell I've been talking all day.
I mean, show don't tell is a
long.
pretty common one.
Yeah, no, it wasn't related to that. It's something else. I'll come with it
It'll
up
come
with
back.
it as we're
All right,
talking
cool.
about
and
it.
also, I also do want to say, Ridley Scott is one of my favorite directors of all
Even
time.
after
Some of
that?
his movies are my favorite movies
Yeah.
ever.
You sure?
By the way, yeah, we're talking about Blade Runner,
Mm.
Alien is one of the
Maybe he got lucky.
Greatest movies of all time after the Gladiator, Black Hawk Down.
Fair enough. I mean,
he's been making hits after hits and good movies. This is just not one of them.
And I will say, yeah,
I think it's one fluke, but this is.
And that it just what it overall was not good. None of the acting was good. Like the mother wasn't good.
It was meh.
The
problem is that it was meh.
Everything was just
perfect in the first movie.
The only characters that were believable were the psycho twins.
They were awesome.
The brothers.
They were the most Roman thing I'd ever seen.
I actually like them. Here's the
thing. Here's the problem with it, right? He said, predicted it was mid. I trust the review said it was mid. Trust the fan member said it was mid.
Yeah.
So it's mid. So look.
Yeah.
No, but check it out. Here's what pissed me off. You're like, oh, the decadence of Rome, the fall of a dying age.
Oh, wasn't he?
And I'm watching that and I'm going, I don't see anything. Normally, when you see anything Roman, not that I want to watch a bunch of porn when I go to a movie theater, but like, you have to show me the decadence. We know what they were doing in Rome.
Debaucherous and terrible.
They were messing with animals. They were doing orgies. It was wild stuff happening. It was jumping off in Rome at the time before it fell. If you don't show me that, you don't show me the brutality, you don't show me the raw violence. We've seen gladiator fights.
Yeah.
We need more than that.
And that's I don't
and they
care.
didn't show me that, so I didn't feel the weight of the need of the rebellion.
Like, did either of you care about any of these characters? Like Edwin, was there okay.
No. That's a quick one. I can take
absolutely not.
You guys, there was a Jif peanut butter commercial that used to make me cry every time I saw it, okay? Anybody who knows me knows that I am a big, giant, sappy sack, okay? I cried at Ninja Turtles, okay? And Benjamin knows when something happens. Are we doing spoilers or no?
You might as well. It's an older movie.
It's been
people die and main characters have tragedy. And those would normally be times where I would cry, not I was like,
she's like, we still got another 30 minutes.
I looked over like 4 times. I was like, oh, he said a thing about his mom. I'm like, nope, Erica's not working anything. She looks slightly annoyed. And I was like, all right, they are not connecting with any of the target demographics with this.
Yeah, who did you care? Did a character either of you cared about? Name one.
I want you to be clear about this. I lost my mom. He lost his mom. And we still didn't care.
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that.
We did not care about that thing. We didn't care when she died. We didn't care. None of it. I was like, oh, that sucks.
Yep.
But I didn't like her.
You know what?
Who cares? She sucks anyway.
I remember watching Spider-Man No Way Home and almost having a panic attack when Aunt May passed.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
And I did almost have
I definitely cried.
A full-blown panic attack when Freda came back in Endgame. You know, I felt that. This one I was like, all right, this is like,
I could care less.
It just wasn't there because they didn't have a
good story.
A good story to go.
They didn't connect the girl, and then she's doing a bunch of weird stuff, and I'm like, I don't care about this subplot at all.
Nope.
Like I should care. I should feel a whole lot of things. I don't. It would have been so much better if it wasn't Gladiator and it was random people doing random stuff. I would have liked the movie so much better.
And if the opening action scene was fun. I'll give it credit for that. But you could have taken that time at the beginning of the movie to let us care about any of your characters first, and then started giving us some action scenes. So for that giant, huge, massive fight scene at the very beginning of the movie, it was like it started with the climax.
Yeah, wait 5-10 minutes and let me care about anybody who's about to die in this thing.
Because
I don't care about his wife.
I don't know if Eric.
I'm sorry. That sounds bad. But like what you should have done and made her sacrifice, let her kill a dude or two, show up, like struggle, and then boom, boom, boom. Oh, let me give you an example. She got hit with some arrows, right? Yeah. Okay. You know why we cared when Boromir got hit and I teared up? I dropped 1 tear in the theater when Boromir dies from the orc arrows. Is because you had seen him trying to be a good dude and struggling and then fail, and then the redemption, and then he gets hit trying to redeem himself. What?
I'm telling Edwin to look in the camera.
Yeah, and trying
I'm
to
looking
he
at
gets
him.
hit. He gets hit trying to redeem himself.
Yeah.
And oh man, that's impactful. And with her, she's just some random chick that died,
Who
and I
cares?
didn't care, and I should have if she had been in like an elite sniper.
Yeah, and then she dies. Hold on, Edwin.
Mm.
What did he do?
The what?
So she dies, right? He wakes up after the battle is over.
Mhm.
All those people murdered. He just happens to see her out in the water,
Mhm.
and the Roman
then they come
soldiers
get him.
let him run out
and
to
like
her.
gently coax this man back to shore. I'm like, that's not what you do with slaves, guys. What? Why are they being nice to this man in his time of mourning? Get
like-
out of here
They
with
like
this.
they like dragged Russell Crowe's character.
No, they were like,
Back
come
to
on,
the
buddy.
movie.
It's all. It's gonna be all
They
right.
just
Come on.
dragged him off the floor. He was already knocked out.
Yeah, it was wild.
There
They
was
just
there were so many moments that were
Whop
so
him, mop that dude.
unbelievable that it took me out of the movie.
Ruined it for me.
because like his wife should have actually been the linchpin of the whole movie.
Yeah, she should have been the
And,
plan.
and they use her as a if you got
Oh,
out of the
what?
movie theater to go get something and just came right back, you would have known that was his wife. You would have thought that was
Some random lady.
some random lady that just died. And I was like,
Belly.
why don't you use her
As
this-
Also,
leverage
look, side note, and this
later
is-
in the movie.
It's another thing. So
Again,
Pedro
bad
Paz,
writing.
what they did is they split up the Gladiator basically. So he's not Russell Crowe. He's half of Russell Crowe. He's the Gladiator side, and then you got General side, who has all the respect, is who Pedro Pascal plays.
Mhm.
So Pascal plays one half, and Pascal plays the other half. So, I don't like watching Pedro Pascal in movies.
Yeah. Ever since
He's whining. He's whining. He
Yeah.
doesn't come off to me as Gerard Butler, Russell Crowe. And they keep putting him in roles where he's supposed to be the commanding.
he does not have enough testosterone to play those roles.
I don't believe him. I don't believe him. And so he did an okay job, but his story was stupid. The way he died just made me not care.
Yeah.
And no matter what, and the fact that the main character is like worried about him kind of pisses me off. I'm like, this dude ordered your wife's death and murdered a bunch of people for Rome. I don't care.
Yeah, but he's married to
I
my
don't
mom, and I love my mom now.
I don't care. I don't care
Dude.
whose husband he is. I don't care who he's having sex with on the weekends.
No.
The point is,
No.
he's a murderer working for the slave empire, and he murdered your chick.
Mhm.
You're out of here, buddy.
Here's the deal.
The ticket is going to get punched. We're not waiting for nothing. And then the main character loses to him in a fight.
Yeah, I was like,
What are we doing? What are we
'cause
doing?
I wasn't expecting Russell Crowe Maximus to lose a fight in that movie. Not in a, like a legit,
Not a straight up
not a
fight.
straight up fight. And even when they did the whole stabbing him, he still won.
Yeah,
So,
he got in there.
Yeah, you can't have this kind of movie without your character. He's got to be
Men get it done.
Braveheart. He's got to be that guy. Otherwise,
Mhm.
you don't really have the Gladiator. That's the whole point. He's supposed to win the crowd
You have,
because of who you are. Or,
Yeah,
you know, like
you have
that's what
slave
it
fight.
is.
You have slave fighter man.
Yeah.
Mama's boy.
Angela, Pascal's not much of a convincing actor. Yeah, exactly.
I do like Pedro. I actually like
no,
Pedro
no,
Pascal.
I
From
liked him. I liked
and-
him in the Kingsman.
in Kingsman.
He was
I
fun in the Kingsman.
liked him in that Nicolas Cage movie where he's
Weird.
where he
Yeah,
was,
but
like,
him as
saving
him as freaking.
But not
You
as
want him
the-
as Thor? I'm
not
gonna
as the,
not be with it, bro.
not as the general guy though, because it didn't even.
But
I don't know.
that may not be his fault. That might have been they directed him to be a little soft. I'm like, I don't want to see that.
I rarely ever blame.
It would have been
actors for-
no. It would have
think he
been better.
just
No,
is
no, no, no.
soft.
It would have been better if you're playing.
Toxic
It would
masculinity.
be better if he was going to play the general and he's doing the will of the empire and he's just doing it because he's a job and this is the assignment he's been given. Okay, play that straight. I don't want to see the cracks till later, and I don't want to see any cracks in public. When you're out in public, I want to see general face.
Yeah,
when you're
why
at
are
home
they-
with your girl, maybe you let the guard down.
And then what are they doing? Talking about the whole thing in the middle of the walkways and throughout the castle. Y'all just were giving the game away.
No, but my point is that that guy, if he's gonna be that guy, I want to see Zod. I want to see I'm fighting for my empire. It's everything I know. I know it's not the best, but I'm conflicted. but this is my duty.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to see you cracking when you're talking to the emperors. Oh, my wife. Nobody
what
wants
was it
to
like?
my wife.
There was a
I
lot
don't
of that
wanna
in this
watch
movie.
that, bro. I want to see decisive characters make decisions and then have to deal with the consequences of those decisions. I don't want to see you. I don't want to watch
Yeah,
that.
it was a lot of it was some and again, actors that are normally good, just very bad acting.
I don't
Just
think
such
I don't think
bad
Denzel
acting.
was bad. I think the mom was flat.
Denzel-
Denzel
I
was
think he mailed
boring.
it in.
The mom was
Ravi.
flat when she wasn't flat in the first movie.
Yeah,
She was
Bro.
actually carrying the movie.
I think Ravi is the money.
No.
The medic.
Yeah,
The medic
Yeah,
dude, he
the
did the
medic
best
guy.
acting in the whole film.
he did the best acting.
He had like small
Yeah,
scenes.
yeah.
I was like, yo, this dude's he's giving it up here. He's going for it. That one guy, everybody else, pathetic.
No.
So now let's move on to the action. I just want to talk about the action. So the action sequences in this are very impressive. They're
Yeah.
fun. They're fun. I am not saying he's a good
Yeah.
fighter, but the fight scenes were big and
Yeah.
expansive.
Yeah.
They're
Mean. I mean, people died
choreographed.
brutally, and I was like, oh god,
Yeah.
that's rough.
Yeah.
Or they were using like when he fought the guy in the first showing,
Mm-hmm.
and they were using the tables and everything
Yeah.
and the fruit. They were using like
Yeah.
I was like, this is probably how a kind of a real fight would actually kind of go like
A real scrap. Here's the thing I did not like. Here's what I did not like about the fighting. So there's a scene where he's getting trained by one of the gladiator people, whatever. Gladiator trainers, and they're trying to, buck breaking essentially, something along those lines. And what they end up doing is the guy has spiked gauntlets on
this
him,
was so stupid.
and he gets into a hand-to-hand fight, and they're trading knuckle sandwiches.
Who had the spike?
The trainer had spiked knuckles.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yo, I mean, this ain't. And then he throws a pair to homeboy, whatever his name is. What is his name? Lil Rayleigh.
His name is
Lil Rayleigh.
Sally Sackface.
Lil Rayleigh. Lil Rel. So he throws him Lil Rel. He throws him Lil Rel.
That's
Lil
his name
Rayleigh.
to the rest of the
Yeah, Lil Rayleigh. He throws
Doesn't
him Lil
that just
Rayleigh.
go to show how bad the
I don't remember his
characters
name.
are?
Look,
we
and
don't
so-
even know what their names
So
are.
they throw him the gloves. He doesn't want the gloves. So he wants to go bare knuckle against Streets of Rage style against a dude with spiked gauntlets. And I mean, they're going kind of toe to toe. But I'm looking at my man's face. It's bruised. I'm like, bruh, if someone punches you in the face with small daggers, you know what your face doesn't do? Bruise. It gets slashed to ribbons. Is what it scraped your face.
You know
None
what?
of that showing up. And I'm like, you just didn't have to do that. You just didn't have to have the guy have mailed gauntlets on if you weren't even going to really do it.
Right.
These are small things that just pissed me off.
It just added up. That was the
that's
thing.
what I'm saying. It was, but see, you can't really say that because the small things eventually just become big things.
Fair.
It's like you're pouring. If it's one small thing and then nothing like that happens for 40 minutes, then you don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We're talking about every 30 seconds we were almost seeing something that was like this,
Weird
and just when you thought
cuts.
something was like calm, then they cut to the dogs or something like that.
Oh,
And it was
yeah,
just like,
Talk
Guys,
about
the
y'all
dogs.
talk about the dog cut
Okay.
before we get to more action.
No,
Talk about the dog
because
cut.
actually, I want to go back to the action because you just brought up something that you were like, well, if you're like fighting like this, see, this is where the story doesn't meet the action
Mhm.
because you like, yes, he has whatever spike gauntlets or whatever,
Yeah,
but this is the part where you're supposed to show how skilled and better he
exactly.
is than somebody.
He's not supposed to get punched in the
He's not
face.
supposed to get punched in the face by, even if he didn't have gauntlets on. That's what people didn't understand. It's like you focus so much on the gauntlet going like, he like it's just like, I bet that's all you cared about. He's like, okay, just have him do a fight scene. I was like, yeah, but he you can't hit him with the gauntlets. That would
defeats the whole point
defeats the
of
whole purpose
thing.
of why.
It is.
I
it
can't
is-
even find pictures of these dogs.
Even also also
don't
look,
know
wait,
why.
wait,
So
wait,
weird.
wait.
It
Okay,
was
let me
so
let me
weird
explain to you
looking.
guys why I'm so mad about the dogs. Okay, now if you remember English reading assignments, literature. We read the Odyssey with Odysseus. He's away from home for a long time. He comes back. Okay, so they have these like 2 greyhounds or whatever. They look very sickly. The queen mother has these 2 dogs. And you're looking at them like, all right, cool. Their dogs pop up in a couple scenes, whatever. But there's this one time she's saying something super deep, and they in the scene is like heartfelt, and they cut to the close up of the dogs.
Of the dogs.
And we're like, and I'm like,
why?
Why am I looking at dogs? It has nothing to do with what they just said. Maybe the dog's gonna play an important role in the movie. I'm like, great. So the dog is gonna maybe when the son shows up, what'll happen is the dog will be the only one to like recognize him, because it's like the Odyssey. He went away and he comes back, and the dog remembers him, and it's gonna be poignant.
And they're not guard dogs either.
And they're not guard dogs.
And it's like one of these like weird looking, like long haired that dogs that's like just meant to be pretty.
Yeah, it's a hippie dog.
I don't even. Yeah, they're weird looking dogs.
And then to watch that and be like, all right, maybe it's gonna tie in. They're gonna bite somebody or do something amazing. No, they don't. They didn't do anything amazing. They didn't do anything. The dogs didn't matter. So now I'm pissed off because you gave me a close-up shot, which is supposed to be used to show me important information. And it didn't. It just showed me a stupid set of dogs that had nothing to do with the conversation. And there's cuts like that throughout the film. And you're like, why?
And then the mice that I played.
A lot of mice.
There was a bunch of scenes. It would cut to a scene, and that scene would open with mice scurrying along the floor.
There's a lot of
with
mice
squeaking
all the time.
I could just see somebody asking Sir Ridley Scott, do we need more mice in the thing? And then I could just see him being like, what was it? I could see him being like, well, Gerald, there wasn't any mice in the first movie.
You tell me, Gerald. How else will we show the fall of Rome? Maybe that's supposed to be the representation of the debauchery of Rome as the rats are running around and taking over the city. It's stupid. The point is, it's not good.
You see what happened was the first movie didn't have rats, and that did dire work to the pack rat community.
So all I could think was more rats.
We need more rats. No,
maybe he's like a diehard Splinter fan, and he was like, "How do I add this?"
I don't know, bro. It was not great. And so there's a bunch of weird little things like that mess up the situation. And then the monkeys. Let's talk about the fight scene.
The baboons.
The fighting of the baboons and the monkeys and the chimps was fine. Okay, really? So it was a fun fight.
It was fine?
Let me explain what I mean. It was fine, but the problem is there's like an army of them that flood out to attack him and a couple of gladiators.
Yeah.
So it's at least enough for at least a 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 of each person to 2 monkeys or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Two of these animals.
2 baboons.
So when you're watching him he is struggling
Hard.
with 1 monkey.
Hard.
1 baboon. He is struggling with all his might.
I mean, it was a black baboon.
Look, shut up. And then there's a dude, and then there's like another monkey, which is funny because you see it. Like he's on the ground, like, and over here there's another monkey just like jumping around, but it's not jumping in the fight.
What is it doing?
It's like, and like it's jumping around, but it's not in the fight. So really, I'm like, he isn't even supposed to be winning this fight.
So even the baboons have egg on their face.
Yeah, the CG monkeys have egg on their face.
Bro,
the bad stunt monkeys, the terrible stunt monkeys.
You know what would have been better if he was fighting, if there was 4 baboons and then he started fighting them and they're fighting, and then he starts like, he breaks one's neck, bites the other one's face off.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 monkeys back down.
Yeah.
Then you can see how he would get the
Monkey King Luffy, and then you give him the goat status of Goku, and then that would be a cool story. Then he'd wear a monkey mane. He'd be Monkey Man in Gladiator times. It would be awesome. That would have been such a better movie.
Actually, you know what?
That's a better movie.
We just wrote. We're now doing critical drinker fixes. Austin Action Fest fixes.
Cinefix,
bro.
Because this is because I was literally like, I kind of felt that was going to happen because of the way the first scenes were going. I was like, they're just going to go through these baboons, but I didn't know that they were going to like make it a part of why they liked him though. Because he really didn't do any. He just like literally like I don't even think they saw him beat the monkey or the baboon. Like the audience saw it, but the people didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Look,
people didn't see it. Like they didn't go like.
Look, here's the thing. I like the brutality of it. But you got a UFC match with a monkey in the middle of a gang fight.
And you went on Mike Tyson on him.
Look, you know what every general knows who's ever watched an MMA fight? That you don't want to get into a grappling match with anybody in the middle of a gang fight. And that's exactly what he did. He's rolling around the dirt in the ground with one opponent, and the only way that works is that the other people have to just let it go. And here's the thing. If he's so cool because he beat one monkey, what about all the other dudes that were on his team that are unscathed, mind you, at the end of that fight? Outside of like one dude.
And they didn't bite it. And they didn't bite a filthy animal.
And I think they might have beat more monkeys than him. So he didn't even beat the most monkeys.
So you diminished your main character immediately by making him look like a weirdo.
I did not think he was awesome. When he was fighting the monkeys, okay, he's doing pretty good. Then I realized, wait, but everybody else is just fine.
At the end, I was like...
maybe he didn't do that good. Wait, hold on. Angel says stat boost monkey plus one defense. He got the monkey stat boost. Oh man, my chest hurts.
He said, gotta squeeze every penny out of that CGI budget.
Oh yeah, dude. They listen.
Did, yeah.
Oh, and it was not good. The water scene. Oh my god, with the water in the Coliseum.
You didn't like it?
Yeah.
It was so fake. The overhead shots where the sharks were like swimming, and I was like, oh, come on, bro. Like, here's
those
the
were
deal.
real sharks. Look, the idea of the water fight in the Coliseum is actually that's dope.
I mean, did they do that though, or did they just make that crap up?
I think they did. I think I heard that they did do that.
They flooded the Coliseum. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna Google that right now. That sounds like some
I never watched the
gobbledygook.
Gladiator movies for historical accuracy, so
I don't care if they was real now. It looked cool.
it looked cool. Even the first movie, I was like, I don't know.
They do that at some fair or something like in the.
Like they're not even speaking
in Europe. They have like a Ren fair and they have a like a water battle like that, which is dope, by the way.
They really did naval reenactments. It took 4 million gallons of water.
Yeah, you got to commit. Quality, spectacle.
So the aqueducts.
That's why they weren't poor.
They just caught some random sharks.
Yeah, apparently they had a tank of sharks somewhere. Like, let's get the sharks in here.
Because weren't those like great whites?
I don't know what those craps were, bro.
Those weren't.
I don't know. You didn't really clearly see the sharks all that much. I'm
actually surprised that they didn't actually say it.
Oh my goodness, there's great whites in the water.
There's great whites in the shark. Actually, no. My favorite line I forgot was, I think I told you guys in the first movie, it's the Gladiator saying, Marcus had a dream. This isn't it. This is not it. And it was like, oh, this is cool. Kind of heartfelt. In this movie, because they had to explain everything to you, he looks at the guys and goes, this is about survival. Now survive. And just walks away. I was like...
And it messed me up.
And that was a motivational speech.
All I could think
that
about...
was a motivational speech.
Let me tell you why it messed me up. Because the way he said it, there's only one movie that came to mind when he said that. And it is Tropic Thunder, and it's Robert Downey Jr. Survive! That's all I heard. So I didn't even feel anything when he gave his motivational
It was not
pep talk.
Motivational. Let me tell you what it was not.
Yeah.
Motivational.
Look, we're bagging on it. Listen, I want to be very clear. We're bagging on it because this is a Hollywood film.
With a massive budget.
Massive budget and the best actors and the best writers.
That's right.
And you had a pre-existing project to build this on. I don't treat independent films and low-budget films and stuff, I don't treat them the same way as I treat Hollywood movies. There is no justification when you're supposed to be the best. This is like Jordan at the free throw, just throwing up air balls.
Yeah.
I don't have to be nice. Do you think Phil Jackson would have been nice to Jordan if my man was missing free throws? No way he would have been. Jordan wouldn't have been. Okay, let me give you some quality and discipline. Jordan wouldn't have been nice to himself.
No.
Kobe wouldn't have been nice to himself if he bricked a dunk. These people are putting out schlock sometimes. I'm not saying that this is schlock. I'm saying they're making bad movies and worse than that, bad sequels. And they don't seem to care. And they have all the money and all the time. You had 20 some odd years.
Yeah, it's just
to
mailed
make
in.
this movie. When it come out, 2000.
That's insult to injury if a 20-year-old movie is better than you.
It's just they just mailed it in. They just mailed it in.
Yeah.
You had Denzel, bro, and then Denzel fights the Gladiator,
And
you get beat up by old Denzel. How do you?
The general that we're
lose to
supposed to
him?
respect so much is by some pretty boy, whatever.
Right,
And
you're having a hard time with an old man.
also, Denzel Washington does not kiss another man on the lips in this movie.
No.
I maybe there was a deleted scene or something, but anybody who's running around saying that is a stupid liar face.
Yeah.
He kisses him on the cheek and
Yeah,
whatever, and it's
I think
not
he had
weird.
he had it. No, he said in an interview he had a scene where he kissed a man full on the lips. I don't think he was wearing a dress yet, but I think he did kiss him. It said he kissed a man full on the lips, and that they pulled it because they weren't brave enough to show that part. And I was like, all right, well, that's a choice Denzel's made.
Did that have to do with these young men that were weird and he was scamming on?
I don't know.
Like, see, this is the thing, is even in that circumstance, it's one thing if it's gay stuff for the sake of being gay. It's another thing if you write part of the message, right?
The message.
And if it's another thing if it's like, oh, this is me manipulating these people and I'm doing a thing and they're all
Scheming.
gay and weird and whatever.
Yeah.
And not that there's anything wrong with being gay. I'm not saying that there is. It's just when people are running around making it a thing.
Yeah, in Rome, it wouldn't have been a thing.
It would have just men kissing each other on the lips. Like
those two characters would be more of what I want to see because they didn't mention anything about their
They didn't bring it up.
stuff. They didn't bring it up. You just saw it, and they just
You can tell. You can tell. What's
they
going
just
on.
did it and went through the scene, and that's
I
what
mean,
you
they
should
look,
do.
they,
It's
they
correct.
look like diddlers. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on with that monkey.
no, but like
But
I'm just saying, like,
that monkey may have slept his way to the top. I'm
all
not
I
sure.
know is the one was
It wasn't
dying of
Merritt.
syphilis. So,
It wasn't Merritt, and one of them had syphilis.
so
or something.
So because none of that other stuff
Case of the monkeypox.
necessarily bothers me. None of the other stuff. If that did happen, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. But the idea of is if they bring it up to you, that's the only part. It's like
Yes.
it'd be no different than if like the straight characters or whatever kept bringing up how straight they were.
Yes.
You'd be like, we got it.
Yeah, and especially in a place like Rome, you don't have to say it.
Yeah.
You can just show. There's a lot of things I'm actually shocked that weren't in the movie. Normally, I'm surprised that was not as. Normally, people would make Roman movies and take it as an excuse to
it
just
to be
make
more.
it super debaucherous.
Especially with how gross it was.
Speaking of those two characters, while I did like, in particular, like the younger looking one,
Yeah.
even though they were twins, but you know what I'm talking about,
Go ahead.
the young one. So here's the one other thing that they did wrong, and it's story wise. Your villains in the movie.
Yeah.
If you look at Commodus, because of that the dad, I can't remember the guy's name now, but because he put on a master class in acting for the whole 10 minutes he was in the movie, you care that he died, and Commodus is the one that killed him. Then he kills his Maximus's family, and he's being like how he is. So literally, that's the first 15, 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
He's already the villain. Because they show you his dad told you why he didn't want him to be the next Caesar. And then the movie showed you exactly what his dad was talking about.
Yeah.
So that means that makes his dad's death even more sadder, and you hate Commodus. He's your villain for the whole movie. You don't like him. Everybody hates him.
Yeah.
In this movie, they just kept telling you
The
why it was bad. Telling you why. They didn't tell you why Pedro Pascal's character wanted to overthrow him. To me, they weren't doing anything out of the ordinary that I've heard of. You didn't see them. They didn't kill anybody.
Nope.
They didn't.
Well, they were ordering people to
They
go
weren't.
be
Yeah, but
killed.
you know
Wasn't nothing
that's a
wrong.
But
whole-
like you
but
said,
know,
it's
like implied that they did it.
well,
I
and
was
it's
like,
also
you can't
like
do that with that kind of movie. You have to show why somebody's going to go up in arms against them. Why Rome is going to fall. The first movie did a fantastic job of doing that in 10 minutes a movie. Good movies do that. Like really great movies. If you think about it, it doesn't take long for them to show you why he's good. This is bad. Really bad movies will get you. You know, like the Madam Web. You still don't know why those girls killed him.
That is gonna go
that's a
down
whole-
in
they
history
killed him 'cause he
as
was a
one of the
man.
worst
That's a whole-
movies of all
You know
time.
why?
You knew from the trailer that was
Listen,
the thing. These girls killed
Women
him.
have powers. He's a man with powers. He cannot be allowed to keep his powers. He has to die. That's the plot of Madam Web.
But yeah. So, anyways,
I'm
story.
sorry,
points.
that's not the plot of Madam Web. I'm joking.
It
That would
is the
probably be
plot
better,
of
but
Madam Web.
So, that story wise, they just had stuff like that. That was like really, really great movies. Handle this stuff. Usually, they can handle it with dialogue most of the time, but it should be quick and it should be fast because at the end of it, you don't really know who's the villain of this movie. Is it Denzel Washington? Was it Pedro Pascal? Was it the two twins? Because it ends up being like Denzel, I guess, is the ultimate. I have no idea. I'm like, where were y'all going with
Here's
this?
what I will say.
Nah.
I think what we learned through this movie is that people are trash and the government can never be trusted.
What has that got
So,
to do?
and
Oh,
the
because of
point-
Rome.
Everybody sucks. The hero sucked. His mom was terrible and she deserved to get shot with arrows. His wife was stupid. She should have ducked. The other dude should have blocked his neck and punched a baboon. He didn't do that, so he died. Everybody was terrible. Everybody was not good. I didn't like anyone in the movie. I wouldn't have cared if a freaking nuke went off at the very end. Freaking Vesuvius, a mountain, a range blew up, and it was just like Pompeii. I'd have been fine with that. I didn't like anyone. I didn't want anyone to win. I didn't think anyone deserved victory. They're all terrible and uninspiring, and that sucks. I feel like I only got with guy should have won, got the crown. Ravi, the healer. He's the only cool dude. Everybody else in the whole movie was terrible. Everybody.
Terrible.
There's a drinking game you can play though. Take a drink every time somebody mentions the dream.
The dream of Rome. Oh, you mean
Or
Dream of
says
place
the name.
They're like freaking enslaving people and stealing everything.
Or
It's in
says Marcus
It's like in the
Aurelius.
title, they were like,
Yeah, the dream.
everything you hold on is the dream.
The dream.
I
I was like,
the
according
dream.
to
It
you
was a
guys, you've
dream.
been butchering and stealing the entire time,
It was a dream.
the whole time, and your people in charge aren't even like misguided. They're actually mentally, retarded. So
That's my thought. That's pretty much all I had. I don't think I have anything else to add. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I watched it again, I'd be like, oh, I forgot about how much that sucked too. But
I mean, look again. Out of five.
the ending is trash
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
because they put in the music.
Trash.
They put in the music from the first,
And then
movie,
they cut it.
and then they just
They cut
They,
it
like-
before it's even emotional.
yeah, it's like the sound
even-
turned off. I was like, what?
The editing is so bad.
I was like, wait, what?
The
like,
editing is so
Oh,
bad.
I was like,
goodness.
You had a chance to have a talk to me goose moment, and once again,
Nope.
Top Gun Maverick did the same thing.
Failure. Why? Stop
Talk to me
moving that
goose,
one.
and,
Do that one.
and you know they did it. He felt it. Heart was thumping when he said "Talk to me, Goose," and they get this one. It's just like the music started playing, and the movie just shut
It's
off.
terrible. It was.
Terrible.
I was like,
Terrible.
It was
who did this?
unsettling. Angelo says the only movie I'm looking forward to at this point is Dune Messiah.
Why? Dune, the first one wasn't that good.
You didn't like the second one?
I actually like the second.
I like the
no.
second one.
Meh.
I think
It was
I kinda like the
it was a
second one.
beautiful movie. It was.
more than the first
I think it
one.
should have had more action in it. Personally, I don't like the fighting. I don't like the fighting.
What's her name? I'm just over.
When he fought
what's her name?
the bald dude,
Zendaya.
the Harkonnen dude, when he fought him, those weren't good. Those were not great fights.
I'm over Zendaya, and the main actor looks like a soy boy. He's not. He looks like a sissy soy man. He needs to eat some cheeseburgers, lay off the tap water.
Double cheeseburger. Lay off the tap water.
Yo, eat some protein.
Yo, mineral water only, fam. Stop it.
Yo, I'm
Wow.
telling you. Yo,
Wow.
you can't. Yo, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that if
What?
you look at the corresponding data of lower male testosterone,
You had a low T situation.
you
Angela,
look and you
is,
look at when
Dune
they started
Messiah
adding
gonna be the third
chemicals
one?
to the water.
Is that the third movie? Dune Messiah?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought. Don't they have a TV show now?
Yes, the TV. I watched episode 2 of the TV show.
Is that okay? I don't even. Now I'm on.
He says, "Laugh out loud." Oh my God, he's a teenager. Also, water is scarce there. Not an
Okay.
excuse. It's not a good plan. It's not a good plan. It's not a good plan.
Okay,
You gotta-
I guess.
no. It needs to be triple filtered.
You know
HEPA,
what? You know what?
No,
Angelo-
it
No,
needs to be-
no.
No, it needs to be triple
Nah,
filtered. You
nah,
need
bro.
a cold filter. Okay, you got to run it through some sediment.
No, they don't. Teenage girls
You need to have
still
Angela
have
on this
their
podcast,
boobs
bro.
out and their butts out and the whole bit.
What are we
So-
talking? What are you
What?
talking
Yeah,
about?
he's like, oh, he's a teenager. That crap doesn't matter. So were the girls in Madam Web, but they
In-
still had them with their boobs out and half naked.
In Dune Land, it matters.
grown
They're trying to
women.
be accurate. They're very feminine
Yeah.
looking people. They eat enough protein, not enough water.
I like
Tired, it's hot.
pecs and delts make me feel a lot safer, is all I'm saying.
Oh my gosh.
It's also one of the scariest things.
Anyways, on that note, but the Dune TV show is interesting so far. I'm on episode 2 already. Ragnar is already there causing chaos. It's an interesting show. I don't know if it's good yet or not. I haven't seen anyone throw any hands. So
Episode
I don't know.
5, they're going to start inserting the message and it's going to turn sexy. That's my prediction.
it was definitely a sex scene in the second one, but I don't know how much of that is.
Oh, so they didn't even wait. They didn't even wait till halfway through.
I mean, but it was a political. I don't know.
Let's make love in the dunes.
Wait,
Say that again.
wait, say that again,
No,
Robert.
What again? What?
Then make
Let's
love in the
make love
dunes.
in the dunes.
Say, wait, hold on. Wait.
That would be pretty funny if like we was out there.
Wait, no, say, hold on.
Man, shit.
I love the
Oh my
voice
God.
changing
Look,
modules on this.
look. Anyways, it's stupid.
The moonlight was shining.
They're shining.
The
Just-
village
just-
came out. She said, "Let's stop." I said, "Let the village watch."
The light was dancing just nice.
The light was.
Are you guys talking about freaking that stupid Will Ferrell? Are you talking about your plums over there?
Deep down in my worm.
In my plums. In my plums.
In my plums. Take ready for the farmer's market. Anyways, I'm sorry. I apologize, chat. I'm sorry.
There's gonna be sand going in your butthole. Who wrote this scene?
Moving forward.
But
Moving forward.
Moving
before
on.
we get kicked off YouTube. But yeah, man. I think out of five blades,
Oh, right. We're talking about Gladiator 2 again.
I give it a 2. I give it 2 blades. 2 blades.
Really?
Was it 1.5? I give it 2.
Wow.
2 means I probably is closer to a 3. A 3 is a 60, meaning I'd watch it, but I don't want to spend a bunch of money to watch it. Like, I can watch a 3. Okay, let's talk about the ratings situation. 1 out of 5 blades. Congratulations, you finished the movie, but you have assaulted the American cinematic experience with this production. You probably should. They should come take your cameras away.
Take them away.
2 out of 5 blades means you made a movie. It has a bunch of technical issues, and it's not something I'd really want to watch. 3 out of 5 blades means you have a movie that I'm willing to watch if it's not expensive or I don't have to drive very far. This is a Redbox. This is a Netflix original. This is Rebel Moon. I would never have paid money to go to a theater to watch that film unless it was to mock it and make content off of it. There's no way I was going to do that. So that's a 3, 2.5, 3, right? 4 means you made a good film. So where most decent movies live.
A 4 would be a good film?
Because it's 80. That's an 80. That's a B. Out of 100, that's a B.
What would be 100? What? Give an
Crouching
example.
Tiger, Hidden Dragons, 100. Predator is 100. Braveheart is 100. Woman and King
Gladiator
is a
1?
5 blades.
Gladiator 1?
Gladiator 1's probably a 5 blades.
Okay.
Deadpool's...
No, it's not.
Because there was nothing else to watch, it would have been a 5, but really it's probably more like a 4, 4.5. Very funny, great action. They told a great story. Deadpool's good, great movie.
Yeah,
Avengers is a 5-blader.
Which one?
First one.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Gladiator 2, again, so here's the deal. Here's what's fun. Again, I'm judging this movie not based on a prior movie.
You went in
I never see...
She went in the theater raw dog in the film.
Wow. Never.
I apologize.
Never, ever use that in relation to me ever
Chalice
again.
of truth.
I do not understand why that filthy,
do you know why?
disgusting
Do you know
term-
why that term came out?
Why?
Because I just saw a thing on like Twitter where someone said if people aren't, it was like Taylor Renz said if people aren't wearing masks, they're raw dogging the air. and that is top of mind for me. Because I don't even know how to process that. I'm sorry. So I apologize. That is why
I can't even.
That is amazing. That's
dude,
amazing.
when they used it in the Kamala Harris ad. Oh my God. I was like,
we're not doing politics.
Raw dogging a flight. I was like, that's not politics. That is stupid. Why would you use that in a commercial for politics? For the love of all that is good and holy.
Look at your reaction. That's why. That's how I feel about it.
I was like,
they got the emotion across, and
it's
that's what
so
mattered.
gross, you guys. Just
anyways, the
people
point
should not use that term.
Well then, if 4 is a good one, this is a 1.5.
Golly,
I can go lower.
That means they should have paid you to watch it.
I literally was like,
you should have paid us.
I was like, I didn't.
$14.50.
I feel like I
market rate.
15.
What's market rate?
What?
Market rate is $15. So at a 1, you should have paid us to watch your film.
So Edwin feels like he got ripped off.
Should be reimbursed and then compensated 100%.
Edwin wants 3 hours of his life back. That was the other thing.
I fell asleep.
That was the other thing. It was 2.5 hours, bro.
Real quick.
Because
2.5 hours.
Yeah, I was like, because to be honest, at this point, the way I watch stuff and everything now, I don't have time to go see bad movies.
Yeah.
And I don't ever go to a movie, and Ben knows this, I never go to a movie because I'm going to review it.
Yeah.
Or because I still go to the movies.
It's the drink.
As a fan.
I can still turn my brain off.
I didn't even know we were doing this till about a little bit before they were like, oh, let's just do it now. I was like, oh, we're gonna actually do it.
Talk about
Literally, I've never went to a movie not as a paying customer fan. So I don't want to go see any more Madam Webs or Gladiator 2s. I was like, I'm not going here to see Star Wars movies that I don't like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not a movie reviewer. So I was like, I'm still just a movie fan. So like when I see a bad movie, particularly like an IP, I was like,
it's not a thing you enjoy.
It's like embarrassing to watch. Yeah. Just pick whatever it is. Just pick one. It's embarrassing for me to watch a bad Ninja Turtles movie because I remember how good the other ones used to be, or at least how good I thought they were.
Angelo said, I can't afford to go to a movie to turn my brain off. And I understand, $15 is very expensive to escape. Well, one, I have the ability to go watch a movie on a matinee price, so I kind of have a little bit of a different situation. But
you can't escape if the movie's bad.
I mean, no.
We're too busy
well,
like this.
Yeah,
We're too
correct.
busy.
Because you're like,
We're
yo, that's
whispering
not
to
good.
each other.
That's not
What
good.
about the dog?
Bro,
we're like, what's going on here?
Look, I took a nap. I dozed off for like a 30-second spot in there and came back. And I probably missed one or two things. And I just didn't even care to ask anybody what happened.
Nope.
I was like, nah, it'll be fine. And I just kept
Wow.
on with my experience. That movie was long, and it probably should have been about 30 minutes shorter. And again, we're saying these things, and I want to be very clear about this. When you make sequels, you make movies, I say this all the time. You have a pre-built-in critic when you're making a sequel, when you're making a remake, when you're doing all that. We remember the original. It's why we're coming to watch this movie. And if you can't give us the same vibe, same energy, and same feel, or better, don't make it a sequel. It'll be a cash grab, and then we're going to get on the internet. We're going to talk about you real bad. And we don't do these sorts of reviews because we want you to make bad movies or we want to mock them. When you get your paper back from your teacher and it's got a bunch of red ink on it and red marks, that's not because she hates you. She's doing that, or he's doing that because they care. And they want you to make your next paper better.
Yeah.
And these movies that are coming out are missing it on real basic.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought
things.
Ridley Scott made this movie. If somebody didn't tell me, I would have thought, they brought a new director.
newbie.
Because obviously, the first director who,
I'm an amateur.
made his own movie would know you're not going to do this, that, and the third.
I'm an amateur. I would have seen this and been like, read that script and been like, I don't think this is enough. And an amateur director would have seen that leading man and been like, he ain't doing it.
What did Eric give it?
How many did you get?
He said,
I got
a 5.
No,
you said,
Ooh.
You said 3?
I gave it a 3 because I don't hate it. I think it's not a good 60 is failing. A 70 is passing.
Eric?
60 is failing.
I would give it a 2. And strictly on cinematography and
scope.
Yeah. But the acting was bad. The action was good for the most part. The action was good. And that's what I go to movies like that for, is the action.
Yeah.
And I think unfortunately that's kind of a trope of action movies, is you go to an action movie and the dialogue is bad and the characters are bad and everything else is bad because it's an action movie, you know? And that's kind of what it feels like they did. They put a bunch of time and effort into some really big CGI fights, and then the rest of it was just sort of an afterthought. And so what they did well, they did really well, and then everything else was just meh.
Yeah, and which is weird because you have like Denzel Washington.
Oh,
and you're like, yo, I thought he was gonna give it. I thought he was gonna go gold here.
Dude, the writing is so bad.
It's just, and I don't want to say necessarily that the writing was so bad. He's Denzel. He can change lines.
Yeah. Oh.
His character was just boring.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. He could have been evil. He could have been endearing. And this is this is the plot point that I thought they could have fixed. So Denzel gets this slave, thinks he could do something with him. He's cool. He knows his slave his gladiator wants to kill the general.
Yeah.
He asked for it specifically. So Denzel manipulates a situation where he gets to fight the general towards the end of the movie. And the guy doesn't kill the general. And then Denzel's like, why didn't you kill him? And it's whatever. And I was like, this should have been a more heavier moment. What should have happened is that Denzel should have bonded at some level with this particular slave, Lil Aurelius. And then when he doesn't kill the general after Denzel's, worked really hard to get the general in the arena with him, he should be like mad, upset, or betrayed. Something something to make this heavier than it is. And then he does his reveal at the end. He's a slave and blah 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 blah. But the way he did it just was weak. It was boring and it was overt. And I was just like, this isn't
You know
all
why,
that
though?
awesome, man.
Actually, it was I call it the Jurassic Park effect.
What's the Jurassic Park effect?
Oh,
Huh?
What's that
interesting.
Because there were no uninteresting people in this movie. You know what the problem was? They were all in the first movie already. So you can only see even the Coliseum.
Oh,
You can only see the Coliseum once. You can only be awed by it one time.
mean? I got
They
you.
literally did it again.
But see, that doesn't work for her. She's never saw the first
Yeah,
one.
so that makes it even worse.
No, but if
even
you-
but
but the
Denzel's
best characters
is
in the
playing
second movie-
Proximo's character, even the same story beat, but Proximo already said it already. So
Okay.
you can't say it again. It's
I got
like
you.
Yep.
it's like it's just like you can't put another scene in there with him going, "Are you not entertained?" It's
Which
and
is
what do they
dope.
do?
It's dope line.
Strength and honor. Too late.
Mhm.
It doesn't work because we already awed by it once. You can only have one.
Well-
This is Sparta. You can't do it again.
And I want to say, Angela, that depends greatly on the power of the actor. I've absolutely been on sets where actors have just rewritten scenes, touched the script, and be like, nah, my character wouldn't say that. Changed it on the fly, changed it on the sequence. I've seen actors decide to jump in and go, I'm not doing that. So it depends. It depends on how much clout the actor can exert and how collaborative the director is.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. Wait, was Marissa? Excuse me, I'll be all by shirtless Jeff Goldblum. I forgot you have a whole issue with Jeff Goldblum. I forgot.
She
What?
does?
Yeah, she does.
What? Okay. What?
Okay.
I have to hear about this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here's what I do know. Here's what I do know.
What do you know?
It is time for nighty night time. And
no, we gotta eat
I
a sandwich. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
Muffin.
Yeah, I'm hungry,
Muffin.
and I got a meeting in
Muffin.
Austin at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Bye, bye, bye.
Blah.
Well, and
Blah.
so that's a 2 for Erica, a 1.5 for me,
Yeah.
and a
I'll give it a. I mean,
three
it's like
for-
it's more like a
three
2.5.
for Ben.
If I'm gonna be really honest,
I'm
it's
actually
a.
gonna
It's,
text Marissa about
it's
this.
a
Like,
2.5.
explain your hatred of Jeff Goldblum.
you gotta remember, she had a thing with Urkel.
Wait, she hates
She
Jeff
likes
Goldblum, or
nerds.
she likes
Oh,
Jeff Goldblum?
She likes nerds.
I like
She
Jeff
likes
Goldblum,
Jeff
so-
Goldblum.
She likes nerd. She likes nerd
She's
guys.
into it.
Yo, Paul, your girls in your wilding again.
Oh, grab your girl.
How'd you grow from the nerds? No. So no, it was like again, it was not a terrible movie. It just wasn't good.
just
and
was the worst movie ever.
in comparison to the original,
Yeah. Yeah.
One
That
day.
was that. This movie. What was it you said, Edwin? This movie's biggest problem is that Gladiator 1 exists.
There you go. That's pretty much what you said.
no, I
which
said
is-
that, but
which
it's
is-
okay.
which
Oh,
is
okay.
That's a Jurassic Park effect. Because the first one exists, you know, you can't see the T-Rex again. You can't see the Brachiosaurus all
Dang
over
it.
again. How many times did they show
Honey,
that?
stop
Like the
moving
T-Rex
it.
on.
You're covering our sponsors up. Why is there keep? You gotta
What did
pick
I
the other-
do?
You can't use the
They
regular thing. You gotta
Paul
use
said they can take
multiple too, because you're covering our sponsors up down there.
They can take her.
Anyways, so we're all choosing violence
Paul
today.
is turning his girl over to the dinosaurs.
We're
Is that what's
choosing
happening?
violence to the nerds. But again, special shout out to Meridian Hive. You know, we got to sip on some of that. Bliss of Blade, Zachary Sauce Photography, Shot Lister, Ming House, Backstage, Kitty R Blue, Awesome Movie Gear, Scriptation, I Love Your Money.net, Women in Film and TV Austin, Writer Duet,
Hey.
Rock Group, 3 Eye Productions, Film Fusion. If you have a company and you want to be represented, contact us. Contact at AustinActionFest.com. We are accepting sponsors.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff this coming year. We
Yeah.
are looking at doing a stunt intensive
Ooh.
in August.
Wait, what is it?
Yeah, we're talking
Wait,
about-
hold on. What is it?
Stunt intensive.
Okay.
in the dunes.
Hey.
In August, we're looking at, doing some fight choreography, basic recs, wire pulls. We're looking at some things like wires and possibly car hits. We'll see how far we want to take it. But we're definitely going to be hitting the basics, and we're definitely doing some things with some wires. So you should come and hang out with us. It'll be educational. Anybody have any closing comments, concerns, whatever, tags? Where can they find y'all? What's up?
Y'all can always find me at Generally Irritable all over the social medias,
The internets.
all the internets except X. I'm Erica Reddick. Find me
Mhm.
there. Oh, and you know what, you guys? Go to generallyirritable.com. We have some really cool merchant. We got a bunch of new designs, a bunch of really fun t-shirts
Trolling the
and
government.
books. And now we actually also have these actual metal tinfoil hats. The
Yeah.
ones that are available on the store are black on black. We couldn't get the gray. They're black on black, but it's the same 7-panel style. They're awesome. This is the new membership hat. So it's the Tinfoil Club membership hat. You get early access to our videos and content and special discounts from our sponsors and things like that. So go check out generallyirritable.com and check out the shop tab.
Yeah. And I'm hoping these things are being informative for y'all because we do Austin Action Fest.
I just know
We are some
all over this movie.
we're look, we accept submissions, and I promise you we're not nearly at austinactionfest.com. We're also on Film Freeway. We are not nearly as brutal when it comes to judging your projects.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
No.
bring the quality. Evan, where can they find you at?
Same place they can find you at Ballistic Blade on Instagram, Facebook. My actual Instagram is like more private, but I rather people go to anything Ballistic Blade related. So that's Facebook, Instagram, everywhere, right? We're on
Pretty much everywhere.
everywhere. Even if you don't see my face most of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But if you were gonna try to find me on social media, it'd be my Instagram, which is Ballistic Blade Boy. That's
All right.
that's
Jumping, swinging
All right.
sabers and
Yeah.
doing things. He's
Hey.
a saber guy. GA says, speaking of sword and sandal epics, Woody Stroh, who had a strong supporting role in Spartacus, wrote a great autobiography about his experience in Hollywood in the 50s and 60s. Strongly recommend. We will take a look. Appreciate you, GA. You know I'm into it. Anything with sword, sandals, fantasy,
kinda like
period,
sword and
costumes.
sandal epics.
Yeah.
That should be.
You didn't know that? That's a thing.
Okay, that should.
You can look at there's some streaming sites.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Just sword and sandal.
Yeah, because it's a very specific Conan. Sword and sandal.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah, Scorpion
All
King.
right.
Which look, I have it over here. Give me that. Give me that disc over there. Gold dust. All I heard was gold dust. Look at the rap. Scorpion King. I was watching the footage, like the BTS and the extra credits from the movies like that. Cause I had like that and a couple other action films. Really informative stuff, by the way, on those DVDs.
How informative
But that's-
was it?
The most informative. But that's all we
Hey.
got. We love you guys. Look, stay in contact with us. If you like what you've seen, like, share, subscribe. We're on all the platforms with Austin Action Fest. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all of it. Rumble. We're every freaking where. Support us. Come be a patron. Come rock with us during the year when we do our big screening events and our film festival in August. Get your tickets early. Get a little bit of a discount. And come be a VIP with us. Come support. Come sponsor. We love you. We do this so that it's educational, a little bit of fun, but also educational for independent filmmakers and everybody else making these movies. Don't make movies like this because then I'm going to have to talk about you. But we love you. We catch you in the next one. Bounce Conductor out.
Hey.
Don't